Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honors be to the apostles, the elders, great millstone. Peace and salutation to the elders and Anakim that is pushing his word with truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. A beloved brother sent me this video. I just caught wind of it and I watched it some time ago, and I figured I'd do a quick little video on it, man. This in regards to the United States Navy SEALs are reportedly being harassed for for not being smacked. All right, they're being manipulated. They're being threatened. They're being threatened of their livelihoods. And if you don't know anything about the U.S. Navy SEALs, these are the tip of the spear when it comes to special operations. All right, these dudes you don't really want to fuck with because they've been trained as killers, man. You know, I've seen these men train before. They're no joke, man. Their battle drills are undetestable, so to speak. But these are the very said men that are being harassed and because they're not smacked. Now here it is, you got all types of momos, transformers, women in the military, but you're harassing the most elite soldiers in the world just because they was unsmacked. Now this here is going to lead to a lot of division, man, because this community is a sacred community. This special operations community is a very, very sacred and small community. You got a lot of veterans that so-called fought for the freedoms of Babylon the Great, which is all BS, by the way. But these very said men are going to stick with one each other. They're going to stick with each other. You know, you got your Navy SEALs, you got your Green Berets, you got your Rangers, you got your conventional military personnel, infantry, combat engineers, all the combat arms MOSs. They're gonna stick together, man. You know. But let's play a little bit of this.
The U.S. Navy is promising severe punishment for service members who do not comply with the Defense Department's order to be vaccinated. Sources telling Fox News that Navy SEALs seeking religious exemptions to the vaccine mandate are facing intimidation and harassment. Mike Berry, General Counsel at First Liberty Institute and a Marine reservist, is representing some 34 active duty Navy SEALs and 2 reservists. Welcome, Mike. Good to have you on the program. First of all, what is your argument against the mandate? What are you doing legally?
Well, thanks, Harris. You know, we represent a large number of U.S. Navy SEALs at First Liberty. They've been threatened, harassed, intimidated. They've been silenced. They don't have a voice. First Liberty is really the only voice that they have right now. And we hope that we don't have to challenge this in court. But if we have to, then that's absolutely what we'll do in order to protect these elite warriors. You know, and right now they're supposed to be fighting for our nation, and right now they're fighting for their careers and for their livelihoods because the Navy is essentially forced them to choose between their faith and serving their nation. And nobody should ever have to submit to an ideological litmus test like this.
So your argument then will be based on religious exemptions. Just walk it out for us a little bit. What will you say in their defense? Because the whole country is watching. I mean, police and military are very different. We'll get into that in a moment and their recourse on all of this. But Americans across the board.
I'm gonna stop that right there. You're right. The military and the police force are a very different entity when it comes to a structure or a government, because it defends not domestic but overseas actions as well, you know. So what happens when vast majority of the police officers, which they are leaving in droves, and military personnel starts to get kicked out of the military for not receiving a schmack? You're gonna see a lot of derailment in the military. All right, and everyone who took it, they're all going to be sick, bugged out, The nervous system is going to be shattered. So you're looking at a total collapse of the United States military. Every branch, all right, whether it be the Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, you know. We not even, the Coast Guard is not considered the military, but in the Space Force. So you're looking at a total, complete derailment of your defense force. All right, let's get a quick scripture, man. You know, because this devil, he's working overtime, man, and he doesn't care about the defense system, because eventually everybody knows that American military, their defense systems is outdated. China, Russia, they have them by a mile when it comes to this technology. You know, Esau and America is just playing catch-up games. All right, because they dumping all their money into Transformers and LGBTQ rights and all this BS. Women's rights and all this bullshit, man. That's why America is going to be totally, utterly destroyed, man. They don't know how to run anything. Here it is, you're going to take the most top elite service members. You're going to kick them out just for not receiving a schmack. Oh, man, you guys are devils, man. It's Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. This is an unrighteous decree, man. These commanders, these higher-ranking personnel that are intimidating, forcing these sailors, not just even sailors. You got your troops, you got your soldiers, your Marines. Everybody's being intimidated or outcasted for not receiving a schmack. You know, I'm gonna get the word, the definition: intimidated. Intimidate means to frighten or overawe someone, especially in order to make them do what one wants. So these people are being intimidated into receiving something. All right, we're gonna continue playing video because what these sailors are trying to do, they're trying to get a religious exempt, and he's going to explain to you that there has no one has ever got a religious exempt for this schmack. So let's keep going.
We're having this conversation, particularly about the argument that you're about to make.
Well, it all starts with the U.S. Constitution, right? And in the First Amendment, the free exercise of religion is enshrined in our Constitution. That's part of the bedrock foundation of this country and what our country was founded upon. And guess what? Not just the U.S. Constitution, but federal law and Department of Defense regulations themselves require the Department of Defense to honor religious freedom. We have regulations right now that say that religious accommodations should be granted and shall be granted, and only in the most limited of circumstances. The government has a very, very high bar that it has to meet in order to deny a religious accommodation. But we've been told from the Pentagon, from the very highest levels, that the DOD does not intend to approve any religious accommodation requests. And to my knowledge, and I've heard this from multiple sources, not a single religious accommodation has been approved at this point. And that's insane. That can't be the case, but yet that's exactly where we are.
So you do your job, I watch and observe, but one...
So there it is. There has not been a case that a religious exempt has been approved. All right? And everybody's copping out to that religious exempt to not get smacked, you know? But first and foremost, it's because they lack faith. But not really lack faith, because the military is a dying organization. Once they start putting women in the military, they start putting momos and transformers in the military just went straight down. Straight down. And it's never going to come back up. It's Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 30. You know what? Let's read that. Let's start at. Oh, let's start at 28 because Yahushua. Goes into Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, of how all the nations are gonna be in that one area, and he's gonna force these people to fight because there's a lot of bitches in the military. There's a lot of punks, a lot of cucks. You know, as verse 28, Jeremiah 51, verse 28. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes and the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon, which is America, have both forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Yo. They're literally, the military is literally being exposed. All right. And I have to say this again. Here it is. You have the most top-tiered, elite, special operations soldiers of the world, and you're intimidating them. You're threatening their livelihood, all because they deny a schmack. And believe he's going to say how much money they put into a soldier. One SEAL, it takes to train. It takes to train one SEAL up to $2 million. That's a lot of taxpaying dollars just to go to race.
Thing that I would just put into the conversation is I would be looking for right now, Mike Berry, areas where they've made exceptions for other things, right? I'm sure that there have
that's
been
exactly
some.
right. There are exceptions. There are medical exceptions in there. And one of the interesting things is the way that the Navy is going after these SEALs is they've told them that, look, even if your religious exemption is approved, we're going to kick you out of the Navy SEAL community. And your family members who are not subject to DOD jurisdiction, they're not allowed to travel. So your spouse and your children who want to go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas and visit family, they can't travel. And if your religious exemption is not approved, we're going to come after you for recoupment of the money spent training you to be a Navy SEAL, which is upwards of $2 million per individual SEAL. So
that's a lot of taxpaying dollars to train up these elite warriors, man. Those are so-called mighty men. And once those mighty men are out the military, who you gonna have left? Bunch of trannies, momos, cucks, simps, and the list goes on. Women. Yo, what you're seeing before you is the derailment of Slovakia. Damn it.
So
what you see before you is the derailment of America in its fighting forces. Because they're going out there. Once you go after a man's family, man, it's a done deal, especially a military man. You go after their family, hey man, a lot of these troops, man, they're gonna start rolling upon the government, man. Let's get that, and I'm gonna close up after this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we always go into 2nd Ezra because these are the time we in the time of prophecy, man. This is prophecy right here, man. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Let's get the word sedition. Sedition is a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of the state or monarch. So these elite, these special, these operators and these retired operators and these combat arms retired men, they have a special bond with one another because a lot of these men went to war together. They seen their battle buddies get put to death. They seen a lot of dismemberment, a lot of blood, man, all over the so-called American dream and defending the Constitution. So they're gonna be pissed, man. So that sedition is gonna happen, man. Because these dudes got a lot of pull. These members got a lot of pull in the military, man. And it's going to be division, man. So that's what's coming. You know, this is just a small example of what's to come. Because the derailment of the military is happening every day and day. The soldiers get softer. Soldiers get fatter, weaker, dumber, more effeminate. You know, every basic training phase gets worse and worse. And that's all across the military. So fuck America, fuck the military, fuck Esau. All right. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, all honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Al-Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. Double lines be to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Peace and citation to the elders and Akim. That's pushing his word with truth and sincerity. Shalom to the whole elect. Ball. Death to Esau, death to the heathen, death to the 2/3. Death to the United States Armed Forces. Shalom to the whole elect.